Hello and welcome to a playthrough of Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped, where I'll be getting all of the Platinum Relics. So I recently have been reviewing Crash Bandicoot 3, and in order to get all the screenshots I needed for that review, I just recorded me playing through the entire game. And as I was playing it, and I was gonna 100% it, just because that's what I always do when I review games, I thought to myself that I hadn't actually gotten all the Platinum Relics in Crash 3 since I was a kid, because I normally just go for the 105%, which doesn't require the Platinum Relics, it only requires the gold ones. So I thought, why not challenge myself before the Insane Trilogy comes out and get all of the Platinum Relics. So the footage you're watching now is just all of the attempts of all of the levels where I actually got the Platinum Relics, otherwise we'd be here for hours watching me do every single attempt. That level was pretty easy. Basically all you need to do is run straight forward. It's probably the easiest level to platinum actually, but yeah, as long as you keep running and don't stop moving, you're almost certainly going to get the Platinum Relic. This level can be quite tricky. This is probably the hardest level in the first area of the game to get the Platinum, maybe. Then again, the jet ski level is fairly difficult as well, I suppose, but yeah, I think this is the hardest. The underwater levels are quite sort of divisive in terms of people liking them and people not liking them. Like, some people love these levels and some people don't. I kind of don't mind them. They're pretty good. I don't know, I'm quite neutral on them, I suppose. But yeah, this is one of the levels that actually took me quite a few attempts to actually get right, just because it can be quite like finicky getting through these electric things. But yeah, the first area of the game isn't too hard to get the Platinum Relic on. The way I've separated these videos is that there's going to be 3 parts, each with 10 levels in. So this will be the first 10 levels, the second part with the second 10 levels, and then the third video will be the last 10 levels of the game. So I'm also going to be doing the secret levels, but I'll talk more about that in the last part. You can see there I've done some other attempts, but that attempt happened to be the one where I got the Platinum. This is by no means a sort of like perfect run of the levels, by the way. I do make some mistakes, but luckily there is room for error in most of the levels, even with the Platinum Relic times. This is one of the levels where there isn't room for error. You pretty much do need to do this level perfectly, but because it's not too long and because you get an Aku Aku, which I just got then, it's not too difficult to get a perfect run of this level, but it might take you a few attempts. I actually remember this level being a lot harder than it was when I did it here, so I don't know, maybe I just got lucky with this particular run. I know that a lot of the levels in this game I found hard when I was a kid, but I actually found myself doing quite a lot of the levels first time, which I wasn't expecting. That's kind of what spurred me on to make this video in the first place, because I got some of the harder levels out of the way in one run through. Yeah, that apparently took me 2 run-throughs. I swear it normally takes me more than that. This is another level which is actually quite easy to get the Platinum on, because it's just like the first level, where as long as you keep the run button held down, you're pretty much guaranteed to get the Platinum. As you can see there, I missed a time box earlier, but you can make errors. You don't need to get every single time box in every level to get the Platinum. If you're going for the developer times, which actually aren't a thing in the European version of the game, you probably do need to do it perfectly, but because I live in the UK, I've never actually gone for the developer times. I imagine they're very hard. So yeah, I don't remember if I've actually said this or not, but this is the PAL version of the game, just because I live in the UK, so it's the only version I have to hand. This is being recorded through a PS3, using a capture card. Up until recently I was actually recording all of the game footage through an emulator, but I think the first game I recorded using the capture card was Hugo 2, so since then I've done the Little Nightmares review, and now this video, which has all been done directly from the consoles rather than emulating them, so it's kind of more authentic that way. think when I reviewed Crash Bandicoot 2 on my blog, the pictures for that are actually widescreen, but that's just because I couldn't get the emulator to display the Crash games in 4:3, which is their native aspect ratio. But for Crash 3, because I'm recording it directly from the console, that wasn't a problem. So yeah, this is a level which is quite hard to platinum. It's not too bad, but it might take you a few practice runs to actually get this down. I wasn't sure whether to go for that 1 second time box or not, because it might have been quicker to actually have cut the corner more tightly, but I practiced it both ways and it didn't seem to make that much of a difference. I seem to remember when I was doing this, I was sort of like looking at the time at certain bits to see how I was doing, and there's fake crash on the right. Because at this point I had got 105% on the game, so when you've done that and you replay some of the levels, you'll see fake Crash doing a dance in certain levels. I think he appears in 3 levels. He appears in the first level, I think, this level, and I don't know, another one. There you saw an example of me just like using my Aku Aku just to get through that corner quickly. So I just rammed straight into the bombs rather than going around them to save a bit of time. So this is the second medieval level, so this is the first level in the second area of the warp room. Which, again, I think all of the medieval levels are quite easy, because in fact all of the platforming levels aside from the future levels are relatively easy to get the Platinum Relic on, just because there aren't... The platforming in this game isn't particularly difficult, so you should just be able to go through it relatively easily and quickly. And the times aren't that strict, and you have a lot of time to make a couple of small mistakes, so you shouldn't have too much trouble. When I was doing this probably about a week ago when I recorded this actually, because I've been writing the review after I recorded the footage, which has taken quite a while. The review, by the way, I'll link in the description. It will be done by it will be online by the time this video is uploaded. I think I started a sentence then, but now I can't remember what it was, so I can't finish it. Lost my train of thought. But yeah, here I kind of made a mistake, because normally what I do there is I hit that knight into the nitro boxes so I can just run straight through. So that was an example of me needing to just come up with things on the spot and jump around the nitro boxes. Here I found the best strategy is to just kill that guy with the bazooka, just so he doesn't turn around and slice you up. I'm pretty sure that's the only time I use the bazooka in the time trials, actually. But I could be wrong. I might use it in the future levels, I don't remember. But up there's a hidden 3-second time box, which I actually didn't know about. I got that by complete accident just then, but I guess that's lucky for me. So this is another level where you're just playing as Crash, and it's just a standard platforming level, and because of that, it's not really too difficult. Like I say, I think the only platforming levels which are difficult are the future levels, and maybe some of the later Egyptian levels actually are quite difficult, but there I missed a time box, but it doesn't matter. You really only need to get every single time box if you're going to beat the developer times, which I've never done, but you don't get anything for it anyway, at least in the PAL version. I don't know. I actually don't know if in the NTSC version, I don't know if it displays the developer times if you've got all the Platinum Relics. But it doesn't do that in the PAL version. When you've got the Platinum Relics, there's just nothing there, so as far as the game's concerned, you've 100%ed it at that point. But yeah, I've played Crash 3 a lot, and as far as I can remember, I think I've only gotten the Platinum Relics, like all of the Platinum Relics, twice now. Once for this video, and once... Oh, there was fake Crash, so this is the third level with fake Crash in it. I don't know if you saw him there, he went away quite quickly, but he was on the left of the road. But yeah, I think I've only gotten the Platinum Relics twice. Once when I was a kid and once for this video. the later bike levels. In fact, the second bike level is probably the hardest level in the entire game to get the Platinum Relic on, at least in my opinion. So here I'm clearing out these boxes just so I can run through without having to spin, which makes it slightly faster by probably only by a few milliseconds, but you know, every little helps. If you skid on the oil, it makes you move slightly faster. And there I was just like cutting a corner by jumping across rather than running straight ahead and then turning right. I actually remember this level being a little bit annoying because of that flamethrower guy there kept taking one of my Aku Akus away, so I couldn't get this invincibility. But this happens to be a run where I didn't get hit by him because I stopped for a few seconds. So if you get the 3 Aku Akus here, you can pretty much just run through the entire level. So long as that doesn't happen, you're pretty much set for getting the platinum. I didn't actually watch any walkthroughs when I was doing this, so this is all just my own strategies. So it's probably not the best strategy to make it through some of the levels, but it works. Again, like the last Coco level, I mean the last Pura? I don't know how to pronounce that tiger's name. The last Coco level where you was riding the tiger, basically the way to win it, well the way to get the Platinum Relic on it is to just hold square and not let it go, and just don't hit into anything. And it's the same for this level. It's just a matter of learning where all of the enemies are, learning the patterns, and then just doing it as quickly as possible. There, that was annoying because I jumped onto a 2-second time box but bounced off of it rather than just going straight through it. I could have knocked another 2 seconds off of my time here if I would have hit that third 2-second time box, but it doesn't matter. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching the first part of my Crash 3 All Relics run through, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya!